also let it pass here. It's a little bit smudged. This way easy in the light, but this is because it's not because he's moving on the animal is sort of waving behind him. Very hard to say exactly, but by the fact that this here goes nice there. That's that. Okay. The long Tayla is up. That's right. He's there, so we'll do another.
Welcome to the sunrise safari on Safari Live. It's a little overcast, but I think it's going to be clearing up soon. My name is Byron, and on camera with me is Fergus this morning. And we've got Tayla on the other vehicle with, who's with Tayla? Oh, Dave is back, David's back. And then Steve will be on foot this morning with Seb and Kirsty in final control. And don't forget, we are live. Send us your questions and comments. Hashtag Safari Live via Twitter. Otherwise, in the comments box on YouTube, and we'll hopefully get through as many of the questions as possible. The morning chorus is starting. It's about Franklin's calling frantically. I'll try to say that 5 times fast. It's about 16 degrees Celsius, or about 85 degrees Fahrenheit. 65 Fahrenheit, sorry, 65 Fahrenheit. So it actually feels a bit warmer than that, I must be honest. Now, what's happened is, I've come to have a look around the dam, because some of our viewers have been watching the dam cam, and apparently they saw a leopard at the dam with a kill, and it dragged it over the dam wall. Now, it's been dark. I've been using the spotlight and trying to see if I can find anything, but I've had no luck yet. I don't know if this leopard has just dragged this kill a little further down this drainage line. I'm waiting for it to get a bit lighter so we can see and drive in there. But I really don't know where it's gone. I've been shining the spotlight everywhere and no sign of this leopard yet. But I'm sure it's somewhere around here. So we're going to have a look, and I'm going to check this area very, very carefully. Make sure we can find this leopard. I'm very curious to see who it is and what the kill is. Well, I'm trying, Tayla, I'm trying, but no sign yet. I don't know where this leopard's disappeared to. I mean, I'm literally in the drainage line at the moment. It's a nice thick area here. I would assume if this leopard was around, it would possibly be moving in here somewhere, or would have moved in here. But no sign. There's absolutely no sign. Now, I don't know what the size of the kill was. I don't know what it was. How big was it? Would it have been able to drag it far? Would it have? And why would it drag it so far? Surely this leopard is somewhere around here. This is a little frustrating. I don't know. I'm trying to also stop and listen every now and then, just if I can possibly hear any crunching of bones, or all I can hear is a black-headed oriole calling in the tree. Hear that beautiful call of the black-headed oriole. Let's go and have a look up at the top here quickly, folks. Let's go this way. But yeah, this is very strange. I'm confused, and like I said, I'm not sure when this took place. Did this leopard move past that dam camera an hour ago, or was it 5 hours ago? If it was 5 hours ago... Okay, right, so it was 3 minutes before the show. Wow, okay. Well, this leopard decided to grow wings and fly away. Okay, I don't think I'm going to fit through there. Right now, Steve is on bushwalk this morning, as I said, and apparently he's already at one of the water holes, or a little pan. Let's go and find out what his plan is for the morning.
Have a look at this. This is a definite drag mark over here of a medium-sized animal. You can see the drag over here. There's a whole body has been dragged over. This is potentially a leg or even a horn that has been pulled, and then the rest of the body postured that way. Oh. Chris Roche says it looks like a duiker or an impala. I think this is too big for a duiker. Here's the leopard track here. It's a little bit smudged. It's not very easy in the light, but this is because it's smudged because he's moving and this animal is sort of waving behind him. Very hard to say exactly, but by the fact of this here, those marks there, that looks to me to be horns or legs. But I think it's a little bit too big to be a duiker, but you never know. You know, it's very hard to tell from a drag mark on the floor. But this is what Rexon saw and called to us just before, so this is very, very positive stuff, and it's heading in that direction towards the dam. So we're going to see if we can come around and see if we can have any luck, and while we do so, we're going to go back over to Tayla, who's looking at a beautiful orb in the sky.
Sure, well, we've managed to find the leopard. I cannot see it in this really thick area. If Fergs zooms out, you might be able to just have an idea of where we are. So we're just on the other side of the drainage line. Rexon did also help us find this leopard. He walked just on top of the dam wall, but you see how thick it is. Now below this jackalberry, the kill is literally hidden right in here, and this leopard is lying just off to the side. Now I wonder if, and I might try reposition. I think if I go up to the top there, Fergs, I think we're going to have a better view. So now, after getting in here, which wasn't easy, I'm going to have to try get out again, drive around, and I think if I stop up there, we might have a... Let me just move forward here quickly. Let's just see if we can get a view from here. It's a kill, and it looks like an inyala. That's what it looks like. Now, I still haven't been able to see if this is a male or female leopard. We've seen a few rosettes hiding in the grass. Apparently, a few of you that got to see it on the dam cam are thinking that it's Tingana. That would be interesting. That would be very interesting, because yesterday morning, Tristan had Tingana on Chitwa, so it's quite a distance for him to walk in one evening and make a kill. Very possible, but I'm not sure if it is him. If it is him, that would be really lucky. All right, well, I think let me try sit and or maybe reposition, see if we can get a better view of this leopard. In the meantime, let's go back across to Steve, who's looking at some beautiful flowers.
On the open ground here, in the open clearings away from the roads, it's very hard. I mean, if I show you here, very hard. So the tracks here, very hard to see tracks. Even if I step there with my big boot, it's almost impossible to see. So you need to be a very good tracker to track on these crusted areas.
Well, look at this. We have managed to get a view of this beautiful leopard busy cleaning himself, and I think this is Tingana. It looks like a big male Tingana. Maybe some of you can give me confirmation. But it looks like it. An old male that we see around here. That's interesting. He's covered quite a distance there from Chitwa. It's not unusual for leopards to cover big distances like that. And he's managed to kill a male bushbuck. That's what it was. I managed to get a better view of that kill. So a male bushbuck, which is a very decent kill for this leopard, and is in a perfect area to hide and feed, and is close to water. So at the moment, this leopard has done very, very well for himself. and he had fed on quite a bit of the carcass. I would say the rump of the carcass. Quite a bit of the meat had been fed on already, but there's still a lot there. So I think this leopard will still be here for at least a day or so, maybe even 2, until that kill is finished. Possibly, if he feels threatened, he might take it up into one of these trees. There's some big jackalberries around here. Just off to the left is a big jackalberry. So if he did feel threatened, he might, or if he did want to try and save this kill, he might take it up there. But the nice thing is that he's in such a thick area. The grass could also potentially mask the scent of the kill. So I think he's managed to do very, very well for himself, and apparently a lot of you very excited that it is Tingana, and yeah, I think this is wonderful news for us, because is it Carol or Kel? Sorry, you say he was also scent marking. Carol, sorry, Carol. I can't get it. I can't do it.
Durban Carol.
Carol.
Carol. Yeah, but pronounced in Durban.
Sorry, Carol. Sorry, folks. Also got K-E-L. Kel. You say that Tingana was also scent marking, so that is good news. It looks like, and for those of you who haven't seen this male leopard for a while, he lost quite a lot of condition. I don't know exactly what happened to him, if he got injured or what happened, but he lost a lot of condition. He was looking really, really thin, and quite gaunt, but he managed to feed on a carcass at Djuma Dam, which we're not sure if he killed or if a young male leopard, Tamba, who was seen together with him, if that leopard managed to make the kill. However, this male kept that young male off the carcass and fed on it, which obviously gave him quite a bit of energy, and he's now moving around a lot again, and because he was hanging around Djuma Dam for at least a week or almost 2 weeks, I think. So to see him moving around, he's got quite a nasty tick just below the eye. I'll probably clean that off at some point. But he's moving around a lot. He's scent marking, so that's a good sign. He's potentially building his energy again so he can defend his territory. So for him to kill this bushbuck, that's a huge success for this male leopard, and possibly we might see him gaining even more condition and looking really, really good in the weeks to come. It sounded like, and I saw a few images this morning just before we came on drive, there was a lot of activity at this dam last night. There were hippo having a bit of a standoff. There was white-tailed mongoose. It sounded like lions calling in the distance. I don't know if there was a lion seen actually on the dam cam in the early hours of this morning. I think so. And then of course this male leopard that dragged the kill right in front of the camera. I'm going to spend some time with this leopard and see if he does decide to feed on that carcass again. He looks quite relaxed now. Let's go across to Steve, who's also relaxed and looking for some smaller creatures out on bushwalk. You can see he's now lying down a bit. He's cleaned himself now. He's resting. Starlight, is he back to defend his territory? Possibly, Starlight. I don't know. I've seen. Okay, so let's put it this way. I've seen leopards get challenged in a fight and kind of get pushed out, and a few months later kind of still hang around and then almost take back part of their territory. So I have seen that before. And look, if this male, if Tingana manages to feed and gain condition, and who knows, perhaps that other male Hukamuri who has been challenging Tingana, perhaps he doesn't arrive back for a while. It could give Tingana time to recover and maybe regain this territory. You see, a lot of variables. You know, I think if that Hukamuri male has been a nomadic male for a while, perhaps he's still moving around trying to look for ideal territory. Maybe he sets it up somewhere else. Might not necessarily be here, but it will be interesting to see how the story unfolds and what.
Hosana, just stop. I'm just going to duck right down. I'm going to walk right in front of the car now. Everybody knows he's here. So, if Hosana is Karula's son, look at that, so close. And so basically Tandi and Hosana are essentially brother and sister. And so yeah. So is it a nephew? Is Tumba? Am I right there, Kirsty? I've gone completely crazy. Brother cousins? Are they cousins? Brother cousins, says Kirsten. Brother cousins or nephew, something along those lines. I would go. Brother cousin nephews is what we're going to call them. That's exactly what's going on right now. There is a vehicle waiting behind me. I'm going to keep going so we can catch up to him. Where was he even? Is he on this side? Oh, there. Hosana, look to the right. Oh no, he's seen the impala. Let's see if he's very excited. I don't know if the impala know they're here. There's been lots of squirrels alarming. There's been a variety of birds making a noise. And there were some impala alarming not so long ago. However, I don't think it was this herd. They're running now. You can see, there he goes. He's just going to run on in. I don't think he quite knows what he's doing just yet. It's like a wild dog. He's now chasing down his prey. Remember that impalas are exceptionally quick and really good at leaping and bounding. So if a leopard doesn't get close enough to its prey, the same thing as a lion, it really doesn't stand much of a chance of catching it. And now the squirrels are all shouting too. You can just see him there. If he just... we're stuck between a rock and a hard place at the moment with all the leaves that are around. He's looking. You can see it as it sways. We might jump back on the road and go all the way around, I think. I don't think I want to pressure him too much from behind or chase.
Well, I think Tingana and I are in the same boat, Tayla. But we have got a lovely view of him, and he's busy feeding on that carcass. And there's a lot of meat left for this leopard, so he's definitely going to enjoy this for about a day, I reckon. Isn't that wonderful? Now we've got a really nice view of him. See, just as I said earlier, we'll come back later, maybe we have better luck, and he's just started feeding again. So our timing is perfect, and I'm glad this leopard has got a decent sized kill, and he doesn't have to share with anybody. He's well hidden, as I was saying. There are some trees nearby that he can hoist that kill into if he has to. Donzi, have I ever seen a leopard or lion without a tail? I have indeed. I've seen 2 lionesses without a tail. So, Donzi, what happened was, I think it was 2007 or 2008. There's a pride of lions on Londolozi known as the... sorry about that. Seem to have just lost you there briefly, but we've still got a lovely view of the leopard. So I was explaining about the lions that I saw without a tail. So about 2007, 2008, there was the Tsalala pride, 3 females, and adult female or slightly older female with her 2 offspring. They were sub-adults. They were sub-adults back then, and they were feeding on a kill, and the hyena came in, outnumbered them, attacked them, and the eldest lioness tried to defend the kill and protect the youngsters, and the hyena attacked her and managed to bite her tail off. So she was known as the tailless lioness. But then, surprisingly, in 2009, it was, I forget these dates, 2009 or 2010, can't remember. Similar situation, same pride, on a kill. They had some young cubs with them. Hyena came in, the few lionesses ran off with the cubs just to protect them, and the daughter of that old lioness stayed to protect the kill, and the hyena attacked her, and so both lioness tail hyena 100% fine, but both tails bitten off. Alright, I'm going to try switch. Our signal seems to be intermittent. Let's go across to Steve and see how the walk's going. Thanks, Tayla. Well, I mean, it's always just nice to spend time with this big leopard. Hold on a sec. Just move the carcass a bit. I'm going forward. I think we'll have a better view through here. There we go. Folks, is that a bit better? There we go. Right, and maybe our signal holds up nicely here. Oh, look at that. That's a lovely view of him. And he lifted that bushbuck almost like it was nothing. Just moved it slightly, and it's quite a, I mean, it's a fairly large male. Mary, you asked for my last tip of the day. What can it be? What can it be? Let me think about that, Mary, for a second. Actually, you know what? I think why don't we make the tip of the day a bit about conservation? And I think because you know the conservation goes hand in hand with tourism, and it's very, very important, I think, for all of us, not just the staff at Wild Earth or Safari Live, not just the presenters or the cameramen, but all our viewers, just to create awareness about conservation of animals worldwide, not just in Africa, but the protection and preservation of areas and wildlife. So that's my tip of the day, is every little bit counts. And I think the more we speak about conservation, protecting animals, the more can be done. And educating people that wildlife cannot be used for medicinal uses or myths, like the rhino horn or elephant tusks or pangolin. And tomorrow is apparently World Wildlife Day, and I think they're focusing on big cats at the moment. There are areas around the world where they kill leopards for pelts. So anyway, that's my tip of the day, is we need to work together for conservation. Tourism, conservation, all goes hand in hand, and every little bit helps. Just the awareness and trying to protect these wonderful animals which we are able to view and spend time with. A little bit of a serious one, but I think important nonetheless. And it's been great again being back on Safari Live. I've really enjoyed it. It was a great stint with Ali and Tristan, and nice to see all the other staff again. I haven't seen Nikki and Scott for ages. It's good to see them, and Tayla obviously back from the Mara in full force. So good to see Tayla. Now all we need is for James Henry to come back, and him and I can perhaps take a few drives together. Right, we still have some time left on the drive, but let's go across to Tayla, who's busy searching for elephant. Oh dear, Tayla. No, it's a bit of an exaggeration. Nowhere near leopard man of Africa. Tristan definitely has luck with leopard. He actually saw Kuchava the other day in the cub. I haven't seen that leopard, so... But we did see Tundi, well, not the cub though, but we saw Tundi about a week ago. Just over a week ago, when we had all that rain. Nice to see that new male in the area. It's always interesting when you have different leopards coming into areas fighting for territory. Changes the dynamic a little bit, but it's good. New genes, and all very important for the growth of the leopard population. Bobby, ticks, from my understanding, I don't think they can really cause tick bite fever or anything like that for these big cats. But, they can still probably cause an infection. And, we've seen if ticks are really bad on animals that they can cause serious wounds. And occasionally we've seen giraffe perhaps that have lost tails because of ticks. Some animals tend to lose a tail because the ticks just infest an area and end up causing an infection and losing a tail. But in terms of something like a tick bite fever or something like that, these animals have got an immunity to it. So it doesn't affect them like it affects us. Oh, this male really is enjoying this carcass. Well, thank you very much to everybody who's saying goodbye and hope to see me soon. I'm sure I'll be back maybe in the next 6 to 8 weeks possibly. When someone goes on leave again. Perhaps we'll see. Chat to James and see, but I'm sure I'll be back again. And thank you very much again for all the wonderful messages over the last 2 weeks and questions. It's been a lot of fun. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. But I have got to go off and guide elsewhere and spend some time in the bush in different areas. So looking forward to that. Thanks to Tayla this morning for driving around and also finding some animals for us, and Steve on Bushwalk. It sounded like he had fun. So don't forget, this afternoon the team will be back on Safari Live for the Sunset Safari. But a big thank you again to all of you. Kirst, thank you. And Final Control, the voices in my head, as I like to call them. Ferg, thank you, sir. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you all soon. Enjoy carrying on watching Safari Live. Still a lot to happen. Thank you very much, everybody. And I'll see you all very, very soon. Goodbye.